Good morning, gay people. My name is Zelda Vox, and today we are counting down the top 10 Pokemon that are most likely to run with knives. This list is not exhaustive, and I do appreciate suggestions in the comments, but these are in fact my opinions, and I do feel very strongly about them. So, kicking it off with number 10, we have Poliwag. Now, I know what you're thinking. Zelda, how can Poliwag run with knives? It doesn't have arms. And that's why it's not higher on the list. Now, Poliwag has an incredibly threatening aura, and if it did have arms, I'm 100% certain that it would be seen frequently running with knives. However, because of the fact that it doesn't have arms, there is no photographic evidence that it does run with knives, and therefore we cannot have it higher on the list than number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Snorlax. Now, Snorlax, not seen running very often. I believe only in its Z-move animation have we seen it really, get there. But I feel like there's a non-zero chance that it does in fact have knives in its hands when it's doing so. Obviously not higher on the list because it is usually sleeping, and so therefore doesn't run with knives often. But I feel like when it's awake, it's doing 50% eating, 50% running with knives. So Snorlax is a solidly number 9. Coming in at number 8, this is a bit of a controversial take, and some people think that I should have this one higher on the list, but it is Scyther. And so the reason why Scyther isn't higher on the list is because Scyther doesn't run with knives. Scyther flies with knives. And I feel like that's kind of just a workaround to the prompt that I don't feel comfortable overlooking. And so while Scyther does have the built-in knives for its hands, which is one of the easiest ways to, get up on the list of being very likely to run with knives, the addition of wings kind of messes with things, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, potential robbery, I don't know, let me know what you think, but Scyther is solidly number 8 on the list. Coming in at number 7, we have Gibble. Now, Gibble reminds me of a toddler, in the sense that if you gave Gibble a knife, you wouldn't get the knife back. That vine of the kid where the mom's like, "What do you have?" And he goes, "A knife!" And then the mom goes, "No!" That's me with Gibble. Gibble, it wouldn't run far or fast with the knife, but it would run with the knife. And so, while I don't think it has access to knives often, I think that, if it did have access to knives, it would run with them frequently. And so I feel like that is what gives Gibble its spot on this list. And also just I think it's the Pokemon that most represents a toddler, which is really what this slot is. This is the toddler spot, and so I feel like Gibble just really embodies that. Coming in at number 6, we have Grimace. Grimace is not frequently seen running with knives, however, it does happen. I feel like it will be happening more often now that, it was just his birthday and he's kind of drunk with power from his new viral fame, and so I think that Grimace, while not the most likely to run with knives, I think his stock is very quickly going up, and that is why he is number 6 on the list. Number 5, another potentially controversial take. Number 5, we have Doblade. And so, Doblade is controversial for a couple reasons. First of all, Doblade, you're all gonna say it, Doblade isn't knives, Doblade is made of swords, which is true. However, are knives and swords really that different? I mean, you get stabbed, you could be getting stabbed with a sword or a knife. I wouldn't know which unless you told me. It's not like you could commonly confuse a sword for a spoon, but you could use it for a knife, if it's a really nice knife or a really shitty sword. And the second reason is that Doblade doesn't have legs, so it can't run. However, it does theoretically float, and so I feel like that kind of gives it that running with knives energy, but I do understand how it could be made that Doblade is knives and doesn't have knives, and also doesn't run. However, I dig the vibes, and so that is why Doblade is number 5 on this list. Coming in at number 4 is Bisharp, and this is where we get into the ones that run with the knives built into their hands. And so Bisharp is one that looks like a guy who runs, you see Bisharp running, and he's got the knives built into his hands. He can't run and not be running with knives, and that earns him a really high spot on this list. It would be higher, however, Bisharp is a little slow. Base 70 speed isn't the highest, and so that is what's keeping Bisharp out of the top 3 for me personally, but I would love to know if you think Bisharp should be higher. Coming in at number 3, we have Kabutops. Now, Kabutops also has knives built into his hands, which obviously big plus. And this is a bit of a deceptive Pokemon because looking at him, I personally would think that Bisharp is faster, but Kabutops has base 80 speed, and so I feel like that, comboed with the fact that Kabutops can swim, big deal. And so I feel like the swimming plus the faster speed, I feel like that makes Kabutops more likely to run with knives than Bisharp. However, now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess I do see the logic of like, well, if Kabutops can swim, like, then that means like there are times when Kabutops is swimming with knives and not running with knives. And so like Bisharp is never swimming, Bisharp is always running with knives. And so I feel like there could be a case made there. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that one, because that's actually like a really deep psychological question that's like plaguing me right now. But I am gonna keep Kabutops solidly at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have Snorlax. Snorlax is, first of all, one of my favorite Pokemon, and also just like the quintessential running with knives Pokemon. Like, that guy runs and he's always got knives. Like, giant swords for the hands. We've already established when talking about Doblade, swords are knives. Come on, swords are knives. And so, for me, personally, Snorlax is in fact a guy who runs with knives. And so, I don't think it really gets much better than that. Like, the base 85 speed, it's faster than Kabutops and Bisharp. Also cooler looking, which, like, isn't part of the criteria, but also just, like, earns points in my mind. And, yeah, just, like, really drives home the prompt of running with knives. Now, last but not least, I know you guys are thinking, Zelda, what could possibly be better at running with knives than Snorlax? And I'm gonna tell you, this one was really hard. And I was debating between Snorlax and this guy for the number 1 spot, and I eventually landed on him. And it's not so much like the physical aspect of the running with knives, but it's really the vibes, which I feel like matters a lot more than physical aspects in this specific like category of thinking. And so because of that, I am giving the number 1 spot to Shuckle. Yeah, when you look at Shuckle, you just see it in his eyes that he really wants nothing more than to chase you with a knife. Probably several. And I feel like that alone just like jettisons him up this list. And I know what you're thinking, Shuckle's like the slowest Pokemon ever. Like, he can't even walk with knives, let alone run. But that's not important. That's not important. I don't think that matters, because I think that the will to run with knives just like completely outclasses any like physical limitations that Shuckle has. Like opposable thumbs, feet, knees that bend. I don't know. I just feel like he really wants it. And so that, for me, puts Shuckle at number 1. And there you have it. That is Zelda Vox's list of Pokemon that are most likely to be seen running with knives. Obviously, again, this list is like totally up for debate. It's just my opinions that matter very much and I'm very strongly attached to. So like, definitely let me know how you feel in the comments, but watch your goddamn mouth. Okay? Watch it. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. If you did, be sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube and follow me on all my other socials. Give this video a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. So, thanks for watching. Bye!